And you know why it's called Alice Anna Street, right?
I don't know that.
So it's two streets. One is Alice, the other's Anna, and they ran them together.
Okay.
Birds of a Feather is closed. Oh, I'm sorry. We're live. Okay, this is where
We
we're
are
supposed to be
live.
serious and discuss work things. And I'm just wanting to reflect on the lovely bars, pubs, and taverns of Baltimore, Maryland.
I just learned an interesting fact about a civil engineer that they built a road through Southern California and discovered a whale fossil. And instead of removing the fossil or extracting the fossil, they just built around it so that they wouldn't delay the road. So
Okay.
that was funny.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to D3TV, episode 18, maybe. And I'm here today with Jonathan Blessing, CEO of Door3, and Kyle Woody, who we've been trying to get on the show for a very long time. Kyle is one of the principal consultants at Door3, one of three. And I'm really excited that you're here.
Yeah, thanks for having
We've
me.
been trying to get Kyle on the show for, I think, literally 6 months.
You know, it's also fun to say where we are.
Where are we?
Well, I'm in New Haven, Connecticut. You're in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh,
And
yes.
Kyle, you're
In Dallas, Texas.
there you go.
We're also on the internet. We're on the internet.
Well, I mean, the internet is non-localized space, so it's not a place.
It's a place in our hearts.
There you go again. Yes, a place in our hearts.
So we are going to talk about.
This is why I haven't come on in 6 months, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, so what's going to happen? What's going to happen is that Liz is going to slowly but surely provide some coherence, like a real narrative, some guardrails in which that we'll have a discussion. And what I'm going to do, and I'll eventually fail, is just going to kind of take us outside of those guardrails. But
The pressure is on.
yeah, it is. Yeah, go for it, Liz.
At some point, I would like to exchange roles.
No, it's better this way.
Is it though?
Yeah, no, I mean, for me.
Yeah, so we were hoping that we could talk a little bit about Kyle, mostly focusing on Kyle's background, Kyle's thoughts, feelings, how Kyle got here from where Kyle came from.
Why don't we start with a description of what a principal consultant does at Door3?
Yeah, that sounds good. Kyle is the best one to answer that.
And I think, Kyle, that should be done by you, because if I do it, I'll just make stuff up.
Okay, understood. Yeah, so hello everybody out there on Door3 TV. Kyle Woody, Dallas, Texas. Principal consultant. So what is a principal consultant? I think at the core of it is really to understand a business, the stakeholders in a business, and align the initiatives through technology. So principal meaning the single point of contact that you will have at your company with somebody here at Door3, and consultant really through technology. So we always want to be adding value through technology to your business. So that's what I always think it as in the core. Happy to elaborate more, Liz, if you want me to, but that's the basic understanding of how I try to describe myself.
How long have you been working with us?
That's a good question. How long does it feel, or how long has it been? Because two way different. I have been here since January of last year, so going on 14 months, I think.
Okay.
And I've been in this industry for almost 6 years, so 5+ doing.
Where did you come from, and how did you get into this industry?
That was going to be my next question.
Oh, sure. Well,
yeah.
Sorry, Liz.
Family background in entrepreneurship. Played football and majored in entrepreneurship at the University of North Dakota. Ran a couple startup companies in the sports industry. And then I had some friends in IT recruiting. Technology is something that has always fascinated me, and in my small businesses was something that I thought was a competitive differentiator for myself. So I got into that space, learned, and started to understand who developers were. And over the course of time, I understood um, the distance in communication between a technology professional and a business professional. And I found the need for that communication, which I filled, but I wanted to be more involved in a project basis. So I began to search around. Luckily, one of my clients was in the space, and I got the opportunity, I guess 5.5 years ago, to be more involved, be an account manager, run the projects, and be the middleman or the communication between the development team and the business professionals. And I think it's extremely valuable position, because oftentimes miscommunication in any industry can lead to waste or whatever you want to call it, but especially in technology. If you miss on the communication factor, it can set you back and it affects your business. I don't know if I straight.
No, that sounded good, Kyle. That
Yeah,
sounded
okay.
really good.
And then how did I get here to door 3? Jonathan called me up one day and he's like, "Hey man, I gotta have you. I saw your picture on LinkedIn. You look so
It was
good."
Craigslist, I thought, right?
And Craigslist, I think it was a different
Angie's
ad.
List. I don't know.
Yeah. And
No, it was
I
Ryan.
had been,
It was Ryan who connected us.
I had been working or focusing more in the startup area, which I always enjoy and love. Door 3 offered me an opportunity to kind of elevate my career into more of an enterprise focused consultancy. So I took that opportunity. So now I think I bring kind of more of a startup experience to door 3 that they might have lacked. And in return, I get to kind of be mentored into a more elevated entrepreneur role.
And we do a mix. I mean, we really, right now in particular, we have a real mix of clients in terms of startups, enterprise, and then enterprise clients that are developing new products too.
Yeah. And I think it's each client is so different and the needs are so different, but at the core, what they need is very similar. So I've been able to use the 10 years plus in technology and 6 years in this particular space to kind of see around corners and help guide customers of all sizes to a successful product.
How many projects have we worked on together?
Me and you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think maybe
that's
like
a good question.
Five?
Yeah, 5 sounds good. Yeah, I think working with you has been great because
thanks,
Liz, I don't know if our longtime subscribers obviously know you, Liz, as the director of UX. But
I'm the host, so
I think one thing that I also offer clients, but Liz offers me, is just a sounding board and brainstorming. And sometimes there's a problem and you just need to talk it out. And Liz and I both have very different backgrounds, but it aligns very nicely for the client. So we're able to offer opinions and suggestions from different walks of life, but with one goal in mind, which is, creating a successful project for our clients.
Yeah. I'd say having been a fly on the wall in some of your meetings, you guys really have an excellent rapport. Great kind of, I feel like my job's
happy
complete.
hours
I've brought the two of you together, and lovely.
Kyle and I have only met once in real life, and we went running, and we went for a jog over the Queensboro Bridge, and I was horribly hungover, and Kyle was a really good sport about it. Yeah, that was fun.
Can I
That's a bonding moment.
Why the
was
Queensboro?
Why was I hungover?
No, why were you running over the Queensboro Bridge?
I like to go on these like adventure runs.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like a good idea at the time, but and it is good because you can see the Roosevelt Island tram. That's kind of cool, but it also is a good place to get run over by bicycle delivery people on that bridge.
It's so loud because
Super loud.
You run next to the subways.
Yeah, and it's also all the cars, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of fumes. I wouldn't actually recommend it, but it's a real
It was an experience. Sometimes you got to go through an adventure together to come out the other side and have even more respect than I did before. So I think, I mean, on a different tangent, like building quality relationships within an organization and with your work colleagues just takes it so much deeper. And I think the reason we're able to work together and communicate is that we've been through some of these things. So I appreciate it. And I think I trust you more because I've seen you run hungover over the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, we made it. Everyone survived. So that was important.
It's a long bridge too. It's more than a mile, I think, with the ramps.
Yeah, we ran from the Kyle's hotel in Midtown, and then we went over the bridge. And I think Kyle ran back, and I took a cab. I was like, I've had enough. Yeah. So I mean, I wanted to talk a little bit about. I think one of the ways that we've been successful in working together is conveying the value of UX and design to clients, and particularly with internal business applications and B2B applications. This has sometimes been, there's challenges with articulating that to the client. And we've been successful, I think, in being able to present that value. And I know that you have some ideas and thoughts about this, so I wanted to ask you about it. You gave me a really good quote about some like amazing return on value for clients. And
because we have such a broad subscriber base, I usually prefer to tailor the level of technical conversation to the comfort level of the client or listener. So at a very technical level, I think you want to collect, classify, and visualize for a better client experience. And I can go into more detail on that. On a very high level, I always try to use the analogy of if you were a retail space, your user experience would be like your retail shop. Or if you were a professional services with an office, it would be your office. And most business owners don't think of the user experience like that. And it just gets put to the side and get built. But people in the retail store or their office, they see it every day. They see when the couches are worn and need an update. They see when their receptionist is grumpy and it's difficult to get into the building. They see when retail shops get feedback from their customer because something is misplaced, it's too high, it doesn't visually appear the right way, the lines are too long. Like they get all that feedback, and it's very easy for a business owner to understand that because it's right there in front of them and it's visual. For user experience, though, I think it's the same way. You have to understand who your customer is. You have to listen to their feedback, and then you are empowered to guide them through their experience. So I think that's the real value is after.
Did you believe this? Did you have this conviction before you came to Door3, or is this something that you've developed since being here?
Now that I've been on for 10 minutes, I'm going to answer honestly, so all the subscribers know me. I really think this is
the four people that watch this.
Yeah, I think I have. I was also like one of these business owners. I don't know if I ever truly appreciated user experience until working with Liz. I think Liz has opened my eyes to the importance of user experience and the true value that it it shares with the customer, because at the end of the day, it should always be about the customer and the client, and there's nothing more centric than a user experience. So yeah, to honestly answer, I think Liz has been a huge help in understanding that. So
So
yeah,
all those Nielsen Norman articles that I send you on Slack, right?
You're an influencer, Liz.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that
Oh yeah, the softball question to me was, it's a 1,000% return. So I just read this article prior to this about how every $1 spent in a typical UX project is a $100 return, and that's because there's so much low-hanging fruit and there's so many user experiences that are left unattended or outdated. And for a very small kind of, in the grand scheme perspective of an investment, there's a quick ROI on it, because it's something that your users are asking for, or it's a very common industry standard that you're missing, that professionals like Liz can quickly update you on.
Yeah, and I think like users with public facing stuff, like users really can see when things look worn out or out of date, or they're a little clunky, or the experience is slow. Kind of like your analogy with the retail space, like you really notice when spaces seem a little down at heel in your actual experiences in the real world. And I think it's the same for your digital experiences, even, across the array of retail and services, et cetera. But there's a lot of things that can be changed pretty quickly and easily, as you're saying. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit, and it's not like a full tear down renovation is required in every instance. There's a lot of things that we can do to fix experiences that are relatively low lift.
Yeah,
Well
and yeah, a further analogy is, I always try to get business owners to understand, like, the amount of marketing dollars it took you to get that customer to your application or your website or your retail space or your office, and the amount of money that you're spending on your sales team to close that business should be considered when you're talking about user experience, because you spend all this money, and if your door doesn't open, or the line to purchase a t-shirt is a half an hour, or it smells in there, right? Like you spend all this money to do that. So yeah, I always try to get them to come out of the rabbit hole and view it from that simple approach.
Yeah, I like it. Well, we're trying to keep these short these days.
That's right.
Because we love to talk about this stuff and would just go on and on, but in the interest of our loyal subscribers, including Tom, Bob's wife, and Wasim, I think we'll close there. Thank you so much, Kyle. I really appreciate it, and it's great to finally get you on the show.
It wasn't too scary, was it, Kyle?
Love camera time.
Love it. Okay, great.
Oh yeah, and will you give us the link to the article
no.
you're talking about, and I can put it in the notes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, folks.
Have a good Friday, everybody.